Paging the TV Doctor. Paging the TV Doctor. Hi, I'm the TV Doctor. I'm a physician licensed to treat and diagnose our favorite TV shows. And from the looks of this file, it looks like I have two new shows to provide a prognosis for. So let's get started. So, Mr. Selfridge is about, Mr. Selfridge, Harry Gordon Selfridge, played by Jeremy Piven, who wants to create the most fantastic department store in the world. It's set in London, which is where the real Selfridges is. Yeah, so yes, this is based on a true story, loosely based, I would say. So we have Piven as Harry Gordon Selfridge, Aisling Loftus as Agnes Towler, the the girl that got fired in the beginning, but ends up getting a job with Mr. Selfridge at Selfridge's. Ron Cook as Selfridge's uh, constantly frustrated accountant, Mr. Crab. Uh, Gregory Fitoussi as Henry Leclerc, the artistic director, the window dresser for Selfridges. Amanda Abington, Tom Goodman Hill as Mr. Grove, and those two are in some kind of weird relationship. I'm not sure if I think it's an affair. I think I heard that right, but I might not have. But they're in some kind of sordid affair that if it got out, it would ruin things for both of them. You have Deborah Cornelius as Miss Blankensop, who is Selfridge's uh, secretary, and I just put her name down since I like her name. It's Blankensop. That's cool. But anyway, Catherine Kelly as the mysterious Lady May. I still don't understand her totally. Zoe Tapper as Ellen Love, who is the face of Selfridges, the spirit of Selfridges, um, who wants to get in Selfridge's pants, but is constantly denied slash strung along by Selfridge. Frances O'Connor to round out the cast is Rose Selfridge, and she is the suffering wife of Harry Gordon Selfridge. So now that we have that out of the way, let's get into the prognosis. So first I looked at the pros, and first of all, if you love costume dramas, if you love period pieces, things that are on Masterpiece Theater, you're gonna you're gonna at least like it. I'll say you'll at least like Mr. Selfridge, because like I said, it's got the costume bit part down. It's got the fact that it's set in England, the fact that it's in the early 1900s, uh, and just the wonder and magic that is shown about Selfridges. Just that part alone is one reason to watch the show. Aside from the costume and all that kind of confectionery stuff, the actual spirit of Selfridges, the magic that Selfridge himself puts into the place, is astounding. Overall, the plotting is really good. It's succinct. It is easy to follow. You know what is happening, and all of it, for the most part, makes sense. Like, we know Selfridge does this action to get this outcome. It is unlike Downton Abbey, which is also on Masterpiece. The actions don't usually match the outcomes, or the outcomes don't usually match the actions. I would say it's hit or miss with Downton Abbey. Whereas with this show, with Mr. Selfridge, you pretty much, if you expect something to happen, then usually it will happen. And in that regard, it is easy to watch, and you won't be at your TV when outcomes come about because of somebody's actions. Uh, the thing that makes it easy to follow, aside from the causes equaling the effects, is that there's this whole idea of the scheme of the day is what I have coined it to be. Similar to how Smallville used to have the villain of the day, Mr. Selfridge seems to have the scheme of the day. And so, from what I gather, I think the Masterpiece airing of Mr. Selfridge was 2 episodes because it ended like 2 episodes. You can tell that in the first episode, we of course are having the building of Selfridges, but then you have the first scheme, which is getting Ellen Love to sign on to be the face of Selfridges. And so then you have the second scheme in the second episode, which is to get the airplane pilot to uh, partner with Selfridge to show his plane off inside Selfridges, and of course to use Ellen Love as the spirit of Selfridges. And so, with that regard, it's interesting to see because you come into the show being like, I wonder what kind of scheme he's gonna pull today, and that should make people keep watching just to see what kind of harebrained tactics Mr. Selfridge is going to use. However, it could backfire because just like with Smallville, it got a little bit tiring seeing, what's going to be the villain this week. It got kind of predictable. So this could get predictable. Like I know Mr. Selfridge isn't going to be, like 13 episodes or something or 20 episodes, but still, it could get predictable. I will say that they do get some continuing storylines, such as the whole thing between Ellen Love and Selfridge, how Selfridge keeps stringing Love along so she can stay the face of Selfridges, even though all she wants to do is basically whore herself out, really, which is kind of sad. But uh, he keeps stringing her along so she can stay the face of Selfridge. So there's that. Will they or won't they really, start an affair? Lady May, like I said, is really mysterious, and I don't know what her angle is. At first, I thought she was going to try and get Selfridge into an affair with her because it's already established that she is one for affairs. At least is what I got from that. But she seems more about getting Rose to doubt her husband, which is kind of weird. So I don't know what angle she's playing at. Rose herself is facing, possibly having an affair because she almost had an affair with the artist that she met. And so there's still time that we could see that guy again, especially when Rose starts getting really befuddled and confused about what her place is in the marriage because she's basically kind of getting neglected by Selfridge because of his store and all the things he wants to do with that. And she's just not feeling needed or wanted rather. So we have that to deal with. So there are some storylines, but will they be enough? That's where we get to the cons. So first we have that even though we do have these continuing storylines, I don't know if they are going to be enough to keep people coming in. At least with Downton Abbey, you didn't know what was going to happen. Like anything could happen, so people kept watching for that reason. With this show, there's not much at stake really. Like we know Selfridges is a success because it's still in existence. So the stakes are kind of done, I guess. Um, and overall, we don't really know what people are playing at. Well, specifically, we don't know what Lady May is playing at because she is kind of one of the big drivers of action because she's funding Selfridges. So what is she really playing at? I think the show would be a lot stronger if it focused more on her and her needs and wants from Selfridge to really provide the action to make the show propel forward at a much more exciting clip than it is. Equally big is Jeremy Piven's accent. And I'm not sure if it's his acting or if it's his accent alone that's worrying me. His accent sounds like, I know he kind of talks broadly anyway, but his accent in this show sounds like a a person who is pretending to have an American accent, or rather, like an American pretending to be an English person putting on an American accent. Is very befuddling. It's like really, it's almost off-putting how he enunciates everything so not crazily, but just large, I guess. Like he just needs to like tone it down and talk like a regular American, like not so grandiose. I know that's his character, but he just needs to tone it down a little bit and make it a little bit more believable because right now it just seems like he's just pretending to be an American, which is really weird. Overall, my prognosis is that the show is fair. It's on the verge of being stable, but if it added some more things, if it tweaked some things, then it would be stable.